morning, everyone. I'm Buntag, and welcome once again to our Wednesday's Media Forum at Habi at Kape. And it's a very beautiful morning. We have a lot of pretty faces here, and the mood is really like a festival season for our August activities, especially in the midst of the Kadayawan festivities here in Davao City. And of course, we'd like to welcome our media friends who are with us and a lot of pretty faces and our handsome guests around here. So, so ang atong mga Dabawenyo are all excited to hear the wonderful and interesting bits of information that we will have this morning. And I'm missing my partner here, Iris. So I'd like you to please prepare your questions and answers. And I'd like also to request our media friends to please do not conduct a one-on-one interview. Please give chance to others. And those who have a lot of questions, I'm sure they will accommodate you on ambush interviews. So without, we're also live streaming, so we would welcome also questions from online questions for Minda and the other and our guests. So I'd like to proceed with introducing our first batch, our ladies, and where's the gentleman coming? We have Dr. Irene Floro, chairman of the board or chairperson of the board, Oro Chamber of Commerce, to talk on the 35th Mindanao Business Conference. We also have Miss Marian Comilang, the executive director for the Mindanao Trade Expo, to talk about the Mindanao Trade Expo. We have Miss Belinda Torres, president of ICT Davao Incorporated, and she will be talking about the NICP National ICT Summit this year, 2026. And of course, we have Miss Mary Rose Ofianga, program manager of Wadhwani Foundation and event lead organizer on the Innovation and Tech Beyond Borders networking event for startup. And we will introduce our friends later for the second batch. I'd like to request also for the opening statements of our guests, a very brief statement for the media friends we have. We'd start with Miss Mary Rose of Yanga. Please give us your brief opening statement.
Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here and thank you, Mindanao Development Authority. I would like to welcome everyone to the upcoming Tech and Innovation Beyond Borders Village and Networking event that will be happening on August 12 and 13 together with the NICP Summit in Tagum City. So the Innovation Beyond Borders has two components, which is the exhibit or the Innovation Village and the networking event or the Innovation Connect, that will happen on August 13, which I will further share with you later. Thank you.
Thank you. On that end, the other end of the table, we have Miss Belinda Torres.
Thank you very much. Good morning. And this time I'm having another hat. Okay. So basically, I would like to thank Minda for having us today. And on behalf of the National ICT Confederation of the Philippines, together with our partners from the Mindanao Development Authority, the Department of Information and Communication Technology, and the ICT Davao, and of course, the government of Tagum. Thank you for having us today. And we would like to invite you on the 18th National ICT Summit 2026. And this is happening on August 12 to 14 in Tagum City with, as mentioned by Mary Rose, it's Beyond Borders, Advancing AI-Driven Digital Transformation in Governance, Talent, and Innovation. the National ICT Summit, or the NICP, is the flagship annual gathering wherein about 50 ICT councils nationwide come together. This is from across the Philippines. And this is with the local government units and the national government agencies and industry leaders, wherein we talk about things regarding ICT. So I hope that you can come join us August 12 to 14 in Tagum to discuss whatever it is in the ICT landscape. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'd like to call on Miss Dr. Irene Floro.
Madayaw nga Davao, gikan sa Patsada, Cagayan de Oro. I am Irene Floro, and I am the chairman of the board and conference director for the 35th Mindanao Business Conference to be held on August 11 to 13 at Cagayan de Oro, Limket Kai Center. So this will be a gathering of not less than 800 delegates all over the 6 regions of Mindanao. So I invite you to come, and I hope to be able to answer some of the questions that you would like to be asking as to the event proper later on.
Thank you very much. And of course, we have Miss Marian Comilang, the executive director of the Mindanao Trade Expo.
Ayong buntag sa tanan, in behalf of the Mindanao Trade Expo Foundation Incorporated, we would like to thank Minda for inviting us here. And I'm also inviting everyone to the 31st Mindanao Trade Expo. That will be on August 7 to 11 at the Activity Center of Ayala Mall, Sabrisa.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we would like to call on the first one to ask the question from Mindanao Times, Ms. Nova Francas.
Good morning po, Nova Francas from Mindanao Times. Ang question ko po first goes to Doc Floro. Ma'am, you mentioned earlier yung Mindanao Business Conference. I believe this is a gathering of business chambers in Mindanao. And what are we going to expect? And will there be discussions on policy recommendations in terms of supporting small businesses?
Thank you. May I know your first name again?
Nova.
Nova. Thank you, Miss Nova, for that question. This is a gathering of 24 chambers all over Mindanao, and the theme really is on bridging the gap and scaling the future. Kung sa Bisaya pa naingon nila pagsumpay sa gintang ug paglambo para sa kaugmaon. So what the delegates would be expecting during the conference would be, there will be plenaries, no? There will be discussions focusing, the first day will be focused on BIMP IAGA or ASEAN, all the concerns that we have to be able to connect in the BIMP IAGA region, no? And the second day would be concentrated on the Region 10 for that matter, regional issues. And then the third day would be around focusing on the Mindanao concerns. So we have so much installed for all of you, including not just for big businesses, but we are actually going to have a special sessions also for micro, small, and medium enterprises. So there are parallel programs or activities alongside the Mindanao Business Conference. In fact, on the first day, there is a golf tournament, there is a tour in the city, there is walking under the sea, there is a tourism activities going to Dahilayan. I know some of you have already heard of Dahilayan. You can go zip lining. So, and then there is also a golf tournament for those business enthusiasts who are willing to do some extra activities other than listening to lectures and seminars. So the usual, except that there will be a real-time application, some of loan applications for micro and small outright. I think this is one of the meat of the main conference, because you apply for a loan, let's say 300,000, you just bring your business permit, outright, there will be approval of loans during that event para matabangan ang mga gagmay nato. Kay the usual questions that I have been asked, Ms. Nov, is unsay makuha sa mga gagmay nga mga negosyante during business conference. Di nagko raman na pirmi ang topic. So this is the time when the business conference will not just address the issues of the large industries but also the micro and small. So financing is one, the traditional application of loan collateral is one of the main issues. Karon amo nang gitry to cut a little bit nga accessible na ang funding for our micro and small. These are just one.
Follow up lang po. Nag-mention ka earlier yung sa BIMP Iaga po, ma'am. As far as Chamber of Commerce of Oro is concerned, what are the parang active efforts po to help in Mindanao with the connections to BIMP?
The best example that I can share with you is that Oro Chamber has now within our building, we already have a halal accrediting body. So among the chambers all over Mindanao, I think Oro Chamber is the first to be able to put a halal certifier within our building. So the small businesses who would like to access markets in Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei can now have their products certified under halal in a very affordable price. Because having certification is very expensive, right? Mahal man na gyud kayo. Now you can have halal for 30,000. Barato na siya. So we made sure that these are available. These are the frameworks or platforms wherein our micro and small businesses can access the BIMP Iaga market. That's just one.
Thank you po. Next question to Ma'am Comilang for Mindanao Trade Expo. Ilan po ba yung total na exhibitors and also target na ma-generate na sales or income?
Our hirap nun. Ang initial gathering namin of MSMEs who will be participating the MTE is approximately 130 MSMEs, and we are expecting like 12 million sales for the 5-day fair.
12 million sales. So this is a variety of mga exhibitors po, ma'am.
Yes, this
Can
is a multi-sectoral fair.
Give an example po, ma'am.
These are
Products.
the producers and manufacturers of crafts, home style, wearables, fashion accessories, and we also have of course, the abundance of harvest, no, our fruits, vegetables, and processed food. Yes.
Thank you po. To Ma'am Ofianga. Ma'am Ofianga. For this networking event for startup. Na-mention mo earlier, ma'am, na there will be exhibits and also with the networking. I'm interested kung how is the environment po ba ng mga startups here in Mindanao, and what do you think is yung challenge na for its sustainability, kasi when we talk about startup, from the scratch talaga, no? So I'm interested sa sustainability.
Thanks, Ms. Nova. That's a very good question. Sustainability. So in Mindanao, I think we have gone a long way, especially in Davao region. Way back 2018, I'm organizing events on startups. And as to date, we can provide us like a data of 67 active startups in Davao region. In Mindanao, it's quite difficult. That's one of the challenges, that it's quite difficult to gather the data of all these startups in Mindanao and even in the Philippines, because they come and go, no? Kasi nga challenge natin is sustainability. So when we say startup, it's not the usual traditional business like you have to sell, buy and sell. Startup has different journey, especially that they have a very critical point in their startup journey, and then they will just scale very fast. So when we say startup, it should be scalable, sustainable, replicable, and profitable. So the journey of the Mindanao startups have grown already quietly because of the support and partnerships of different stakeholders, our government agencies like the ICT, the OST, DTI have been very helpful in helping develop the ecosystems, and also the partnership with the academe and associations like ICT Davao. And there have been awards that, or Davao region has even been recognized as the Davao City as the top 3 in the startup ecosystem in the Philippines. So this networking event and the exhibits during the NICP summit will help us develop more the ecosystem and encourage more participations. Even if you are not yet familiar with startups, then this is the time for you to go and connect and learn more from our startup founders, from our government agencies and enablers to learn more, because we want to encourage potential founder wannabes to explore and take the risk, no? And going back to the challenge, one of the challenges of sustainability is there's still a need for more funding on the seed and angel investor level or early stage startup investment. And that is what we also trying to do in terms of all the agencies involved and the enablers, how we can come up with an angel investors network, not just in Davao City, but for Mindanao startups. And this networking is also in time for the BIMP IAGA Digital Alliance Cluster Meeting. So this is not just for Mindanao, but this is for BIMP IAGA because part of the NICP is the BIMP IAGA Digital Alliance Cluster Meeting. So from Mindanao, that's why it's called Beyond Borders, because we want to connect and learn from other startup enthusiasts and enablers as well in the BIMP IAGA region. So Mindanao and Palawan, and then the Brunei, Indonesia, and Malaysia.
Ma'am, yung 67 sa Davao region ba to, ma'am? Or
Yes.
Mindanao? Sa Davao region. So, yung 67, ma'am, ano yung parang focus nila? And I'm interested din sa ano yung mga emerging na mga
Most of these are services and in e-commerce. Most of this. Emerging startups are into agri-tech, which is mostly complicated. That is why only few startups, but because that is one of our critical problems right now that we really want to solve for Mindanao. So we encourage students and startup founders to focus more on solving problem in the agriculture sector.
Thank you po. To Miss Belinda, ma'am, na-mention kanina ni Miss Ofianga po, one of the challenge is yung sa funding. Sa ICT Davao po ba, I'd like to know kung do we have nag-fund na ba po ba tayo ng mga startup, and are there mga best practices and na pwede din ma-replicate to other startup?
Okay, thank you, Nova, for that question. Just to give you a context of who ICT Davao is, ICT Davao, as mentioned, it's a group of ICT enthusiasts, industry players. We have the academe, the different trade association, and as mentioned before, this is a very strong workforce wherein we have about 80,000 workforce. But obviously, with the event of the AI and the emerging technologies, there are several things that we want to work on. And this is obviously startups, one of them, and ensuring that we reskill the workforce and making sure that they have enough skills to be relevant moving forward. So having said that, the NICP, wherein we are talking about the event on August 12 to 14, is not only focused on, of course, policies, governance, talent, innovation. Of course, this is also in coordination with the different startups that we need to help out and move forward. So one of the things that we're looking at as an ICT Davao is for the adoption of several solutions that are available. And I think this is one of the things that we need to pursue. We have actually started talking it out with different founders and different angel investors, but obviously it's a chicken and egg thing. We have to make sure that the solutions being provided is something that is, if it's in the business sector, the ROI, but of course, we should also invite government to be able to look at things that can be adapted in a local or a government level. Example of which, uh, although the NICP will start on August 12 to 14, the ICT Davao will also have its own event. This is on November, and we're talking about the AI Hackathon. And for this AI Hackathon, we're looking at resiliency. We're looking at risk disaster. We're looking at solutions for that. So obviously, we have to come up with founders to be able to adopt solutions that will be raised during that particular event, and similarly be able to, start and up, having the TBIs that would incubate all these particular startups. That's one. Another thing is the reason why we also talk it out with the BIMP, because the BIMP is also part of this particular event, wherein the cluster, in particular the digital cluster, which are the government side of BIMP, together with the Digital Alliance, which is the private sector, will come together and be able to discuss things moving forward in terms of connectivity. So meaning to say, we don't limit founders that are here in Davao region, in Mindanao, Philippines, but we try to also coordinate with the different, countries that would be interested of solutions that are available for our startups. So in your question, is ICT Davao doing something about bringing in investors? Yes. Ang haba ng sagot ko, yes lang pala.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Nova. And now we call on Ezra.
Hello po, Miss Torres. Good morning po. Ma'am, mag-ask lang sana ako, what are the challenges or issues po na ginaatubang sa ICT industry diri ato sa ato ang region po? And nabatay mga policy making po to strengthen our programs po?
Okay. Thank you very much. What's your name, anak?
Ezra po.
Ezra. Thank you very much. That's the reason why that, what are the challenges? We know for a fact that AI is here, and we have heard so much about AI, and we have heard what is it that will happen with the emergence of AI in terms of course, the relevancy of the jobs that we have. So there are so many, hard truths about the emergence of AI. We've been talking about it under the industry, under governance, under the academe, and we even talk about it in the business sector. I'll give you a specific example. Number one in the industry, the IT BPM, for instance. Although last year, 2025, that industry contributed more than the OFW remittances. So it's a good thing. But with the emergence of the AI, of course, we need to reskill and make sure that that our workforce will still have the same number, and we would have the same, we would increase our presence in the international arena. That's one concern. Sa academe, ang problema natin sa academe natin, for instance, yung ating mga curriculum is 5 years behind,
Yes.
when in fact, what we need now should be something that is 3 years after, or if it is today, it's 3 years to 5 years na dapat ang pinag-uusapan natin. So the academic should make sure that micro-credentialing is something that they have to pursue. Something wherein they have to be very knowledgeable of the things happening around us. So with all the different hard truths that we have, the ICT Davao created a blueprint. We call it the strategic blueprint for 2026 to 2030. We are now talking it out with the different agencies just to make sure that we are all on the same page. Reason why for that blueprint, what we want to do as an ICT Davao and for the Davao region is that the Davao would be the Philippines' next digital manufacturing and business continuity hub in terms of digitalization. So, yes, ang challenges po, maraming nangyayari sa paligid natin, gaano tayo kahanda para gawin yon. So, we have to be, and it's evolving. Whatever it is that we know right now, might be something that may be different by tomorrow. So dapat R&D should be there, and we should have to make sure that, you know, the industry, the academe, and government should work together to come up with policies. I know that there is a policy on government, particularly the RA 2231, wherein something to do also with the changes in jobs. So kaya ang challenge, our relevancy, the jobs that we have now might not be the jobs that we have in the very near future. So we need to be very aware of the things that we need to do, and ensuring those who are in that particular industry would thrive, and not only that industry, but all of us, because it's changing. The landscape is changing. So it's important to talk about it, come up with policies. Thank you.
Thank you po. Follow up ko lang sana, ma'am. May mga collaborations po ba tayo sa international organizations or mga sa top leading ICT countries po, for example, sa Singapore po?
I think we have here Attorney Sam, who is also the chairman, and he, to give a context to this, because NICP, the BIMP IAGA, the group which is the ICT cluster and the Digital Alliance, came about in 2008. NICP rather came up in 2008, and we are one of the founding members. And aside from that, we have BIMP as one of our, friends in terms of international exposure, Singapore, and several more. And
We would like to acknowledge also the arrival of Attorney Sam Matunog, the chairperson of ICT Davao Inc. And I'm sure he will be available also for ambush interview for the first batch.
Okay.
Yes, Ezra?
Yun po.
So meaning to say, yes, we have international friends. We talk. There are several engagements that we have done. We are preparing all of this because, as I mentioned, aside from the NICP event that we have this for the August, we have already prepared the event by November, which is Digital Frontiers. Example of which, yesterday we had a meeting with Huawei. We have a meeting by next week with AWS and Singapore group. We're talking to them. There's so much going around, and we have to make sure our presence and relevance is part of the whole ecosystem. So yes, we do.
Thank you so much po. Thank you po, ma'am. To Miss Comilang. Ma'am, do we have exact data po if pila yung unsa ba? How much ang sales nga na-generate nato sa 2024 o 2025 po? And are we positive na ma-surpass nato ni siya this year po?
Actually, we did not increase the sales target for this year. In 2024, we had it 15 million. And then last year, I think that's 12 million. And then now we are also targeting 12 million for this 2026 edition of MTE.
Unsa ni siya ka-importante para sa ato ang small businesses po, ma'am?
This is very important to the MSMEs because we've been doing this for 31 years now. And then when we started it, we do it once a year, and now we're doing it 3 times a year because of our partnership with Abriza Mall, and then we are expanding to Manila shows and even international shows. And every time we have this Mindanao Trade Expo, the booths, and the availability of the booths, it's always full. And this edition also, we are expanding it to the supermarket hallway of the Ayala malls because of the demand of the MSMEs all over Mindanao who wants to join the MTE.
Pila gani ang kuan, ma'am, exhibitors nato this year po?
As of to date, we counted like 100, approximately 130 MSMEs. But for August, it will reach mga 150 to 170 MSMEs.
150 to 170 po. Unsa na areas ang pinakadaghan, ma'am?
Areas, meaning the
Um,
sector,
Apo,
product sector.
Ang lugar nga na mag-put up sa ilang exhibit po.
Okay.
Since entire Mindanao man siya.
Okay, in terms of region,
Mm.
so major participation is coming from Davao region.
Mm.
Of course, kay naaman ta dire, so easier for them to join. And in terms of product sectors, also the highest sector is coming from the food, fresh and processed food.
Okay. Thank you po, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank you.
much po.
I'd like to entertain one more question from Deborah Usan.
Good morning po. I'll be relaying online questions from Ms. Sheila Lesondra of Radio Pilipinas. So to Attorney Sam Matunog, sir, good morning. She asked po, will the use of AI be discussed in the summit? And what is your take that AI will be overtaking some of the jobs in the next few years and that this will though save time and resources and even salary? What's your take, sir?
Yes, this will be siguro the leading topic during the NICP summit this coming this next week in Tagum City, and it will continue to be a leading topic in our events organized by ICT Davao this coming November 12 and 12, 13, and 14. So according to most experts and according to some of our players, some jobs will be assisted by AI, and they're thinking that at some point a good number of the entry-level jobs will be taken over by AI. For instance, kanang atong tubag-tubag din sa mga messages nyo in our cell phone, these are really done by AI. The other thing, if you are a favorite, parang if you use YouTube as a favorite platform, be careful now because many of the content that is now generated sa YouTube is really generated by AI. Now, however, the danger is, especially for professionals, most AI platforms always contains, lahat ng mga platform na ay kulat na sila ay statement sa ubos that they will not guarantee the output generated by AI. And that is why we still, I think, for the next few years, we will still depend on human beings like us to validate the information because more often than not, yung AI will hallucinate. What do we mean by hallucinate? Meaning, the algorithm is structured in such a way that it will always generate an answer. But the answer may not be accurate. So you always, parang double check, no? So when you prompt, tell me more about the NICP summit in Tagum City this coming August 12 to 14. Tapos mag-generate sig information. You better double check the AI and counter check. You can say, give me citations so that it will indicate kung sa iyang sources sa information. Now, sa prompt na to, if you really parang you have developed the skill in AI prompting, this is the way to do it, no? When you prompt yung AI, always tell AI what is the correct answer. Because it is learning from our response. So the next time around that it will generate, parang a similar question will be raised in the future. Like, asa maning regular nga every month, Wednesday nga kapihan sa organized by Minda. Well, it is here. But the AI may generate a response nga na as a Brisa Mall, which is not correct, no? Na adinhe nga portion. So every time you provide a correct answer, it will improve the AI. Now, of course, the other problem there is, but who controls the AI platform? Unfortunately, wala man tayo atong kaugaling platform in the Philippines. That is why we are educating the AI of those who are controlling the platform. So I don't know whether that is good or that is bad, but I think the better option for us is we must have our own AI platform that is organized by our government. So we can all play around there. So we educate ourselves instead of helping the Chinese, the Japanese, the Americans in getting better. So I think ang key karon for us, ang among advocacy sa ICT sector is to find a way to look at investments in ICT as a strategic investment, much like education, much like roads and bridges. No, do not wait for the private sector to pay for it. No, if the government can do it, or maybe government can persuade the private sector, we must have our own data center. And that is why ako personally, I would like Pax Silica to become a reality. However, daghang issue ang Pax Silica. So ang ako na lang gipangita, Pax Mindanao or Pax Davao. Anhin na to ibutang ng AI no in Davao. So we are doing something a little bit and we will announce it. Hopefully, we will be able to announce it in our November event, our own Davao Micro Cloud Data Center, which will enable our local players to play around. Practice tag-AI that we control where the data is here, where at least when we educate it, at least we are not helping others. No, the value of our AI prompts will support our own internal needs.
Thank you very much. We have another question. The last question for the first batch.
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Sam. So this one is for Doc Irene po. Ma'am, investors today no longer evaluate profitability alone. They also look at ESG standards. Are Mindanao businesses, particularly MSMEs, ready to compete in an economy where sustainability is becoming a requirement rather than just good corporate practice?
That is correct. For businesses to really thrive, it has to address the 17, pila na ba, 19 ESGs now? High school pa ko, murag 17 pa man to. Or, I think dahil nadugang nga duha, but I cannot remember. During the Mindanao Business Conference, on the third day, we have addressed climate action and business resiliency. That's basically one of the topics that we would like our business sector to be to keep abreast, especially if we are going to address the climate change. Even the upcoming El Nino, this coming last quarter. So, take for example, example na lang yun namo, Cagayan de Oro, where we host our Mindanao Business Conference. That is the consistent. Mona siya amo ang, kumbaga, mona siya among gitawag diya o systematic friction point in terms of development, because every time there is heavy rain, we have an Italy within our city. Venice ba? Venice. Bangka na lang kulang namo diha. It's our Venice when there is. So imagine, if you have a flooding that would last 3 days, that is business lost in 3 days. No? So, really, it is crucial. Tama imong point that for businesses, we really have to work closely with government. Kay, this is where the gap is. Munang ang team nato sa business conference is bridging the gap. Bridging the gap is identifying where we are lacking, where we are needing, where we have the challenges, where we have those systematic friction points wherein it is common among us man. When I say systematic friction points, common sa ato, it is widespread. And all this problem cannot be addressed by a single businessman or a single micro businessman. It has to have a collaborative, synergistic approach to solving the problem for us to be able to scale the gap. Mutong mayon ka, unsaon pag-address sa ESGs, example na lang sa environment. That's why it's very important that we address that very main concern. And that will be discussed during our third day. No, naana siya sa third day. I think my staff is giving out program na sa inyo, kung makita ninyo. Medyo nasayop lang ko kaganina, kay I said third day ang Northern Mindanao. Ang Northern Mindanao ang among first day namo nami investors night. ang nakanindot manggod sa what is nice about the Mindanao Business Conference because it rotates all over the regions, no? The 6 regions. So pag nakatoka ang imong region, like us now, nakatoka ang Region 10, so ang first day namo is the concerns about our city and our region. And one of the concerns of our region is number 1 is climate mitigation and sustainability in terms and resiliency. When it comes to flooding, I don't know, kamo diri makita man pud namo nga ga-flood pud mo pero ang inyo kunong flood less than 24 hours mawala na kuno dayon and I'm happy ngay na gid ang Davao, no? 30 minutes da, 1 hour, okay. But in other cities, it's not. Another problem also is energy, no? Sustainable energy. Naapay mga areas, would you believe, gasulti na ang akong mga tapa diri og AI, no? Paxelica, but still Region 9 is having problems with electricity. And these are crucial, no? These are gaps in scaling up the future. Unsaon man nato pagtabang sa atong island groups in Sulu, Basilan, Tawi-Tawi. These are key resource areas for our seafood products, but dili nila matransport ang freshness sa ilang product mainly because there is no sufficient electricity. How can there be cold chain facilities? Unsaon pagbutang og ice plant in those areas when electricity is a number 1 issue? So these are the concerns, common concerns among businessmen that we're supposed to be able to address. Problems on the environment and how we can sustain the business. I-add lang nako sa ganina kay I like the points on AI, no. One of the crucial points that we would like to address also during the Mindanao Business Conference nga nakita nato nga gap is our workforce development. Insakto to ngingon ni ma'am nga kinahanglan gyud ma-institutionalize ang curriculum so that we will be able to address the specific technical and operational skills needed by the local industries para job ready ang atong mga graduates. Take for example, mutkaon na lang yung kog time kay grabe ilang storya wa gyud ko kastorya na. And last question na ra ba kuno ka?
Yes, we have
So
limited
last na
time.
lang ma'am, no? So this is what we wanted to address. Pag ang industries during the conference, mothers, this is what we need. This is the kind of graduates we want. This is the kind of talents that we need for our industries. Then the industries, the government, the industry, and the academe can harmonize our system para makaproduce mo graduates that are ready madawat namo sa business sector sa atong chamber. So, kana lang akong ma-address and I hope I was able to answer your question, ma'am. And thank you
Okay.
for inviting us here.
Yes, thank you.
Mayong buntag
Thank you
sa tanan.
po. Thank you.
We would like to ask for your very brief closing statements. Please, we start with Miss Mary Rose of Ofianga, please.
All right, so everyone, we would like to invite you to the Tech and Innovation Beyond Borders on August 12 to 13. Feel free to go to atrium of Tagum City Hall, where you can see the showcase of our startup ecosystems and enablers. And join us on the 13th afternoon from 12 noon. Lunch will be served 12 noon to 5 p.m. to connect with the startup ecosystem. And see you in Tagum City.
I hope there's transportation for the media. Okay, yes.
Once again, I'm inviting everyone to the 35th Mindanao Business Conference. This will be on August 11, 12, 13 in Cagayan de Oro City. Please just check on the MinBizCon website. You can register. You can have an advanced registration. The registration is very small man lang, 4,000 for the early bird, and on-site registration is 4,500. And you have access to business matching, business partnerships with different businesses around who are attending the Mindanao Business Conference. So I encourage you to come. This is one opportunity that you can meet various businesses from other sectors and from other regions. Build your network, expand your future.
Yes, that will be at Limket Kai. Okay, yes, Marian.
come and visit to the Mindanao Trade Expo 2026. No, this is gonna be on August 7 to 11 at the Activity Center and the Supermarket Hallway of Abriza Mall. And I'm also inviting everyone to join us during the opening ceremony on August 7 at 11 o'clock in the morning. Thank you.
And Miss Belinda.
Thank you very much for having us again. So on August 12 to 14, the NICP 2026 Summit, Tagum City, and this is Beyond Borders, Advancing AI-Driven Digital Transformation in Governance, Talent, and Innovation, back-to-back with BIMP Digital Cluster and Digital Alliance. So we hope that you can come join us next week, August 12 to 14.
We like to hear from Attorney Sam.
Same thing, kanang ato ang event sa Tagum, mura na siya kape, no? 3-in-1. So if you want to do ambush interviews of our guests from Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, about their own ICT initiatives, that is the place to go. And if you want to also interview mga innovators in the ICT sector, that is also the event to go. And of course, this summit will be attended by more than 80 ICT councils nationwide and most of the local government units in Mindanao. So we hope that you will all be there and, share the word about the progress of digital transformation in our local government units.
Thank you very much. Please don't leave your place. We'll have a brief photo ops with the first batch. Please come over. Those who are here, media friends, please join the photo ops. We have a short break. Media with. Hello once again. We're back and welcome sa ikaduhang part. Second batch guests are here. So we'll have part 2 of Wednesday's Habi at Kape Media Forum. Welcome back to our media friends and our guests. And we're happy to introduce our guest today. And we're happy to see you. And we expect that you have wonderful news, exciting news for the Davao City. And of course, ang atong festival sa Kadayawan, we welcome you back. And I know you have wonderful and exciting information for our media friends. So without any more delays, we'd like to ask you for your opening statements. Ato sang introduce kinsa sila no. Miss Arlene Adlawan, District Governor of the Rotary District 3860. And Miss Estela Maribel Vilela, District Governor Representative to the Philippine Rotary Magazine. And their topic is the Mount Fuji climb to end polio and bloodletting activity. We also have Mr. Jairus Roselio, the Artistic Director of the Mindanao Repertory Community and writer and director of Hanggang sa Muli, the musical. Of course, we have Dr. Jose Beltran Jr., President of Davao Amumas Cancer Support Association Incorporated. He will be talking about Hanggang sa Muli musical event for the benefit of Davao Amuma Cancer Support Association. So may we have your opening statement, please? We'll start with Dr. Beltran.
Good morning, maayong buntag sa tanan. I'm Dr. Jose Beltran Jr., the president of Davao Amuma Cancer Support Association Incorporated. We're a group of patients, cancer survivors, caregivers, their families, and those with advocacies for cancer care.
Okay, Mr. Roselio.
Hi, mabuhay ug madayaw. Advance happy Kadayawan to everyone. I am Jairus Roselio, the Artistic Director of Mindanao Repertory Community. For everyone's knowledge, Mindanao Repertory Community is the Mindanao's biggest performing arts group. We have more than 200 members, and we are sharing a big news today because we are doing our first ever full-length musical entitled Hanggang sa Muli.
And Miss Gigi.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am Gigi Avena of the Rotary Club of Waling Waling Davao, and I am here to actually announce our upcoming activity, the Bloodletting project of District 3860 in Davao City on August 15, 2026.
Yes, another guest, of course, is Maribel. Oh, no. Miss Arlene Adlawan.
Okay. Mayong buntag sa tanan. Good morning, everyone. I am District Governor Arlene Adlawan of District 3860, covering 105 clubs from Visayas and Mindanao. And we are here to invite everyone to support the initiatives of Rotary International District 3860, particularly on bloodletting activity for the month of August, and at the same time, our climb to end polio in Mount Fuji this coming August 21 and 20 and 21 in Japan, which will be this will be a fundraising activity for our campaign to end polio, and that will be headed by, of course, our district DGRPRM, Maribel Vilela of the Rotary Club of Waling Waling.
Yes, ma'am. Your opening statement, please.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning, fellow Rotarians. I am Baby Vilela from the Rotary Club of Waling Waling Davao of District 3860. I am here to promote our fifth climb a mountain for a cause to end polio. This year we're going to do it in Japan, a climb to Mount Fuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we have our first guest, media guest, to ask the question. Gio from Mindanao Times.
Hello, sir. To Sir Jairus po. Sir, you said this is the first
Yes.
ever Hanggang sa Muli, sir. Can you tell us more about the yung music po?
All right, thank you very much, Sergio. We are doing the first ever full-length musical entitled Hanggang sa Muli, a new jukebox musical featuring the songs of the iconic Filipino group, The Company. So this is very special to us because in celebration of Kadayawan, we are already accredited as one of Kadayawan's activities. This is somewhat an ambitious project because so far in Manila, daghan na ta kaayog mga makita na musicals up there. So this is the first time in Mindanao and even in Davao City na we have this full-length musical that will span for almost 4 weeks and a total of around 8 shows in total. So we'll be running this one starting August 22 every weekend po. So August 22, 23, 29 and 30, September 5 and 6, and then September 12 and 13. So what makes the event even more meaningful because we have partnered with Davao Amuma Cancer Support Association. So all of our ticket proceeds goes directly to Amuma for their projects and their future plans for their group. Because ang pagkaibalo na to sa tanan, Davao Amuma is also helping supporting cancer patients through all of their projects and yung kanilang ginagawa nila para sa cancer patients. So the story of Hanggang sa Muli also is also very dear to our hearts because it spans 2 acts. Act 1 is happening during the martial law era, and then which I think mga millennials dito can also relate to. High school nostalgic moments during 80s. And then on Act 2 naman po is yung mga Gen Zs naman natin ang makaka-relate because it's all about the post-pandemic event. So yung mga high school friends back in the 80s, 40 years after the Act 2, they are now adults and career-oriented people. So it strings the love story between 2 best friends and yung sinasabi nga namin, yung totga, na very important and very open sa ating mga Pilipino na the one that got away. So yun naman din, also cancer is also incorporated in the story. Kaya very dear to our hearts din si Amuma kasi not just as our beneficiary but we're also telling a story about the challenges of a cancer patient. Yun po.
Since you partnered with the Amuma Cancer Support Association, sir, no? Mga what type, what cancer patients are you going to help po? Tapos, how many are you going to support?
With that, I would like to introduce Doc Jose
Sige po.
Beltran.
Yung ticket sales, bali financial support ang ma-receive ng Amuma Cancer Support Association. Now, with our advocacy, we provide emotional and spiritual support to cancer patients and survivor. Kasi yun ang kulang sa treatment ng cancer patients. So we have already the standard care like surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, immunotherapy, etc. But we don't have this emotional and spiritual support to cancer patients. No? So most of them are stuck in their denial stage or depression stage. So walang support group to comfort them, no? To give counseling and prayers. So ito ang role ng Amuma to help these cancer patients. Highlights of our activity is during Holy Week. No? Instead of going to different churches, visita iglesia, we do our way of the cross, but we change it to visit the cancer patients in their homes. So instead of visiting churches, we visit cancer patients in their homes.
So bisita pasyente, dili na bisita.
Yes,
Visita
so-
pasyente po.
Okay.
And we're very lucky and happy because the company themselves are flying in for the opening night po on August 22. So yung mga fanatics po ng the company, they have a lot of very memorable hits like Muntik na Kitang Minahal, Pakisabi na Lang, Now That I Have You. These are their very powerful love songs na I think makarelate po lahat ng mga millennials dito and even mga baby boomers. Opo. So they are flying in po and then they spent for their own tickets to fly to support.
I hope we will have time to hear them. I think you
Yes,
are
we're bringing
performing
in a
for us.
sample performance for everyone to enjoy later po.
Okay. To Sir Jairus ulit po, how is the musical scene here in Davao City? Is it booming ba, sir?
To be honest, yes. I will be the one to say that because after we promoted hanggang sa muli, may mga pakonte-konte na ng mga theater groups in Davao who is also planning to do a full-length musical. So the difference between a theater play and a musical is technically the singing aspect of the play. Kasi pag theater play lang, pwede kasi siya like slapstick or heavy drama lang na walang kanta. Ito kasi, what makes musicals even more special, it comprises of three integration of arts, which is singing, dancing, and acting, plus visual arts. So yun yung pinakamahirap doing this project kasi pag nanood ka ng movie kasi, you can just rewind the tape. But ito kasi, the actors need to be perfect at much precise. Not perfect, but precise on every performance. Not just on the notes, not just on the dances, but even with the emotions. Kasi they're telling a story that is very vital to also teach people lessons and also to also inspire them. Yun. Tapos, going back to your question, sir, like in Davao, meron din po mga, I think may 3 or 4 na upcoming starting this September until December na mga musicals. And it's very inspiring to see na ang Davao is already embracing this kind of new performing arts na na aspect. Kasi po, lagi lang tayo nakakapanood ng choir, ng mga dance groups, pero yung acting na side first time. And to be honest po, marami masyadong schools ang may mga magagaling talaga na mga performers. And I'm very proud with my group with Mindanao Repertory Community kasi po, halo-halo yan ng mga cast po na from different schools. Meron din po mga nag-graduate na and then meron din po kami mga adults po na yung mga nag-work na din po.
Last question, sir. Where will the event be held po?
All right. So the event will be held at Leo Dominguez Amphitheater. It's located inside Ateneo de Davao University Matina campus. And all of our tickets po are sold online via tickettome.net/HSM. So we're also following the trend of Manila na paperless na po para conserve nature. And also, it will make the tickets more visible to all online. So para mas madali din namin siya ma-monitor and also ma-experience na din ng Davao market kung ano yung experience sa Manila na nagbubuka ng tickets online tapos pagdating mo, scanning na lang ng QR code. So we're bringing the musical Manila experience here in Davao. And we're very thankful din kami sa mga supporters namin, if I can just mention, because they are very vital din sa success, which is we have Kaisano Mall of Davao, and we also have Music School and Anflocor, and also Dunkin' Donuts. These are very good supporters na who really support mga local artists natin sa Davao City.
Thank you, sir.
Salamat.
Thank
Then
you.
to the Rotary Club po. Ma'am, I'm curious lang first sa yung Mount Fuji, since it's a fundraising event, will the event be yung mountain hiking trail ba? Kasi it's Mount Fuji.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Climb to Mount Fuji is not just a fundraising event. It is as well to create awareness on what polio is and the role of Rotary in support to the eradication program of polio. So, Climb to Mount Fuji is already our 5th year to do this climb. We started in November 2022. The first last 3 years we had the climb to Mount Apo, and then last year we had it in Mount Kinabalu, and then this year we're going to have it in Japan, Mount Fuji. So we're here to promote it, to increase awareness that polio, though it is a disease that can be prevented through the oral polio vaccine. And we're here to also encourage the parents not to have their children vaccinated against the disease, because there has been myth and hesitation of parents for having their kids vaccinated against the disease. So that's why we are doing this every year, to create awareness and to raise funds in support of Rotary's humanitarian priority in ending polio. You know, Rotary has been fighting polio since 1979, and it has a long-standing commitment to really eradicate the disease globally. Okay, so by doing this, we are encouraging people to donate to the polio fund for the purchase of vaccines, for surveillance, and for the support of the healthcare workers that would go house to house on foot to deliver the vaccines and to have the children vaccinated against this very devastating disease.
Why Mount Fuji po, ma'am? Is this a worldwide event?
Well, Mount Fuji, because for the last 3 years, we've been doing it in Mount Apo. And, you know, Rotarians are looking for more challenges, maybe. So with an adventure. So we had it in Mount Kinabalu. And then this is actually a suggestion of our district governor here to do Mount Fuji. And maybe next year, to complete the trilogy, we might do Mount Jade in Taiwan.
Okay. Ma'am, how many participants or mga donators are you eyeing for this event po?
For this event, we have all together, we have 23 climbers, 21 from the Philippines, from the different Rotary clubs in District 3860 that covers Mindanao, Leyte, Samar, and then clubs in Surigao and Butuan, and General Santos. And we will be joined by 2 Japanese Rotarians. So altogether, the whole group is 31. That is including the send-off party.
Okay. Last question, ma'am. Is this may involvement ang Japanese government nito? Will the government of Japan ba ang magano?
No. Sadly to say that they were not able to collaborate with us.
Okay.
They had it as a voluntary from other Rotarians in Japan. But we have 2 sister clubs who are who are helping us out in Mount Fuji.
Okay, thank you. Then I want to go to sa bloodletting activity. Can you tell us more about the event po?
Yes. About our bloodletting activity, this has been going on since 2002. And this is being spearheaded by Rotary Club of Waling-Waling. But eventually, the district took the initiative to do this district-wide. So for like a couple of years already, we have been doing bloodletting activities every year. Walang palya. This is done every year. And so for this year, we will be doing this come August 15 in Gig Oca Robles Memorial Hospital in Arcastillo. And this is in partnership with Southern Mindanao, Southern Philippines, Mindanao, SPMC, I mean, and with their blood production services. So that's why we are encouraging and we are inviting blood donors to please come and join this project. We are aiming for 300 blood donors on this activity.
Ma'am, will this activity be held in other areas or isa lang to siya na venue?
No, we will only do this in just one place in Arcastillo, the Seamen's Hospital, since it would be difficult to be transporting the blood because we have to maintain temperature and all.
Okay.
So we might as well conduct this in one place.
Sige po.
May I add something, sir? Okay. our bloodletting activity is actually district-wide. So when we say district-wide, it covers 105 clubs all throughout Visayas and Mindanao, no? So this initiative here in Davao City is spearheaded by Rotarians of the Rotary Club of Waling Waling and all other clubs collaborating in this event. But you know, since this is district-wide in the different parts of Visayas and Mindanao, there's also a parallel activity going on probably on the same day or on the same week or in the same month of August. That is why they have different venues, different partners in service, and again, the goal is to come up with a good supply amount of blood that could help our fellow Filipinos in times of emergency. You know, and the same way with the campaign to end polio. This initiative, the climb to Mount Fuji, is an initiative of the Rotary Club of Waling Waling, no, to increase awareness and to help the campaign on the fight to end polio. Now, in other clubs in other parts of the district, they also have their own way of increasing awareness how to end polio and raising funds for this purpose. So some will have a raffle, some will have a walk, fun run, or bike to end polio. So each club has their own way of doing things in increasing awareness and conducting fundraising. So this time, this climb to Mount Fuji, which was initiated by past President Maribel, which started 5 years ago. 5 years ago, so we intend to continue this from one mountain to another to different countries, and now it's in Mount Fuji, and hopefully next year we'll go back to Mount Apo to complete the loop, complete the the climb to the different mountains, and we'll go back to where she started it all, which is in Mount Apo. So hopefully by then, all climbers from the different countries will be joining us there in Mount Apo in March. So this one is not only for Rotarians, but we are also encouraging non-Rotarians to join us. And actually, we have this QR code here. We will be posting this because you can actually donate online. No? So if you cannot join us in the climb to Mount Fuji or in Mount Apo, you can donate through our QR code here that we will be posting in our Facebook page. So that way we could help the World Health Organization, which is our partner also in this fight to end polio, also with the UNICEF. And every dollar that we donate, every Rotarian that we donate for this cause, Bill Gates Foundation is giving a counterpart or a match of $2. So every dollar that we donate, Bill Gates donates $2. So that way, we increase the financial support for World Health Organization to continue this cause to end polio, because right now there are still 2 countries that has the cases of polio, which is Afghanistan and Pakistan. So we are almost there. That's 99.9%. So 0.01 na lang, and then we're gonna eradicate this polio forever. And we are continuously doing this because we care about the future generation. We care about our children, and that Rotary International is really 100% support to this fight to end polio. With that, I hope everyone will support us. It's either you climb and join with us in the climb to Mount Fuji or Mount Apo next year, or you can donate even a single dollar or a single peso for this purpose. So with that, let's continue to support our fight to end polio, and let's show our love and support to the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Okay, is the trip visa free?
Hindi po. Actually, we also have to register for the climb, so we have to pay the climb package.
Okay. We have some members here. Can you introduce your members, please?
Yeah, okay, yeah. We have our district community service chair for Mindanao. This is past Assistant Governor Art Galendez from the Rotary Club of Santa Ana, Davao. And then we also have our Assistant Governor for Area 2B. We have our immediate past president of the Rotary Club of Waling Waling, Davao, Sylvia Austria. And we also have another member from the Rotary Club of Waling Waling, Davao, a director, club director, Dr. Luchi Aportadera. And we also have the very supportive daughter of our district governor, JC. And we also have friends of Rotary who always join me in every mountain that I climb. We have Danley Robles and my Minar. Yan.
Okay.
And sino pa ba? So that's it po. And we have, of course, si Kenneth.
Thank you.
Kenneth, also from the District 3860 Public Image team, from the Public Image team.
So now we have Will Duran from the XDC.
Good morning po. I'm Will Duran from the XDC Urban Davao. So for Ma'am Arlene Adlawan po, ma'am. So ma'am, I'm just curious, ma'am. So dagan kay activities nga pwede himuon. So na-curious ko nganong climbing ang ato ang gihimo nga activity for run po sa kaning ka Mount Fuji nga climb po, ma'am. Since di ba ma'am 5th year na ninyo siya. So nganong climbing ang inyong gipili nga activity, ma'am?
Okay, I'll give you a brief history, okay? Actually, what inspired me to continue this activity, this awareness campaign, it's because of this amazing lady beside me, past Assistant Governor Maribel Vilela. When I saw her initiative on a club level 5 years ago, she was just climbing Mount Apo with her family and with her one cute dog. What's the name of your dog, dear? Si Boomer. And then she climbed there first time, and the second time she did it again. 15 times again, no? 15 times na. So I was curious and I was inspired by her perseverance, by her commitment to increase awareness for this drive to end polio. So on the 3 years ago, on the second time that she climbed to Mount Apo, I said, I wish to, since I was inspired, I wish to climb with her in Mount Apo. That was 3 years ago. 2023. So that's the first time I attempted to climb to Mount Apo, no? So we did the training for how many weeks? And then finally we made it in 2023. And then back then I was the district governor nominee designate, no? So I said to myself, if God will permit and will allow things to happen, that my dream will come true, that we will have another climb in another country. So that was last year when we proposed to have it in Mount Kota Kinabalu. And then I said, what about another mountain in another country? So that will be an impactful campaign. So God allowed it to have it in Mount Fuji. That's why, that's the story behind it. No? So every climb, there's the commitment is there, the challenges is there, but it simply signifies that Rotarians will never give up in continuing this advocacy. Bisag unsa pa nakataas ang mountain, katkaton na mo na, just to prove to the world that no one can stop Rotarians in continuing this advocacy to really fight against polio. Yeah.
Okay,
I hope someday you can join us.
That's all, ma'am. Thank you so much po, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Are all these members also climbing with you?
The
Sasama
two
kayo?
ladies here po. The ones here, yeah, they're the ones climbing with me too.
Okay.
That's Danley Robles and Mai. And to add to what our district governor said, climbing mountains or why Mount Fuji? parang inaano ko na, in our effort to eradicate polio, no matter how hard the mountain is, no matter what challenges we may have, we still continue with our fight, no? So we never stop. We continue, just like in eradicating polio, there may be challenges also in eradicating
Yes.
this because we're doing this globally.
Okay,
no?
we're running out of time. I'm
Sorry.
sorry, and we'd like to have the performance of the group. So, can you give us your brief closing statements before we watch them? We'd like to start off with Dr. Beltran, please.
Uh, Thank you for having this opportunity for us to invite you. Please support the MRC in its show on the specified dates, and your help will really go a long way to sustain the projects of Davao Amuma Cancer Support Association. We just celebrated our 23rd year anniversary last July 5th. So hopefully we can do more projects for our cancer patients.
Thank you very much. Mr. Roselio, please.
Once again, I would like to invite each and every one of you. By the way, ma'am, I'm also a part of Rotaractor. So Rotaractor din ako. So sana Rotary Club, you will also support. Rotaractor Ateneo din po ako. Please do watch and support Davao City's pegged to be the first ever longest running musical, Hanggang sa Muli, a jukebox musical featuring the songs of the company. It's happening at Ateneo de Davao University Matina Campus, Leo Dominguez Amphitheater, happening on August 22, 23, 29, 30, September 5, 6, 12, and 13. This is in alignment with Kadayawan activities. So please do get your tickets via tickettome.net/HSM. Dagang salamat for having us.
Thank you very much. Now, Ms. Gigi, your brief closing statement, please.
Once again, thank you for this opportunity, and we would like to invite and ask for your help to disseminate this bloodletting activity that is happening on August 15, 2026, and we will be starting at 8 o'clock in the morning until 2 p.m. Thank you so much.
And yes, yes, the next one. Yes, Miss Vilela. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Adlawan.
Okay, thank you for having us here today to promote our, noble and impactful activity for the month of August. And I hope that you, our fellow Mindanaoans, fellow Filipinos, will be able to support the activities of Rotary International, specifically here in Davao City. We have bloodletting activity, and please feel free to donate your precious blood because that way you can help save lives. And let's continue also to support the awareness campaign of the End Polio and our fundraising activity for this cause, which will help the future of the world, our children of the children of the world. And this initiative is not only for here in the Philippines, but this is a global initiative of the Rotary International. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah,
Vilela.
thank you so much for having us, for allowing us to promote the different advocacies of Rotary. And again, I would like to say that the most that Rotarians could do to help in eradication polio is number one, to educate. We have to educate everyone about the disease and that the disease can be prevented. We have to advocate, to advocate that vaccines work, they are safe and effective. And then, of course, lastly, to donate. So if you want to help this global eradication of polio, this cause, please just scan the QR code and you can go direct Race Rotary for your donations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dagang salamat. And also to our media friends, dagang salamat. We are excited to see and watch the performance by Hanggang sa Muli musical. Are you ready?
So without further ado, I would like to introduce the cast of Hanggang sa Muli from Mindanao Repertory Community.
Everybody's welcome here, come join the parade. Everybody celebrate